Thank you for being here today. Your presence means the world to me. And I'm so grateful you've taken the time to join this empowering space we've created together. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who might need a gentle reminder of how truly beautiful they are at any age. Today, we're celebrating something that often goes unnoticed in a world obsessed with youth, the beauty that only time can shape. Because true beauty doesn't vanish with the years, it evolves. It deepens with wisdom. It grows with experience. And it shines brighter through the confidence we gain with every step we take on this journey called life. As women over 60, we have lived through decades of joy, heartbreak, discovery, reinvention, and resilience. We've laughed until we cried. We've cried until we healed. We've raised families, built careers, survived storms, and danced through sunsets. Each of these moments, each chapter of our lives has shaped us, not just in who we are, but in the way we carry ourselves, the way we smile, the way we love. The world may try to tell us that beauty belongs to the young, but we know better. We know that beauty lives in the woman who's lived, in the woman who has learned to trust herself, in the woman who walks into a room not to impress, but simply to be present, fully, unapologetically, and radiantly herself. This isn't about pretending we're younger than we are. It's about celebrating exactly who we are, now. Because we are not less, we are more. More sure of ourselves, more at peace, more powerful than ever. So today, let this be your reminder. You are beautiful, you are strong, and you are allowed to celebrate every wrinkle, every grey hair, every part of the woman you've become. This is your time, your story, your beauty, shaped not in spite of the years, but because of them. Let's begin this journey together. For far too long, the world has tried to convince us that beauty has an expiration date, that once we cross a certain age, we somehow lose our glow, our worth, our place in the spotlight. We see it in the magazines, in the movies, in the endless stream of ads telling us to reverse time, to hide our age, to chase youth as if it's the only version of beauty that matters. But here's the truth. Beauty is not a deadline, it's a journey. And we, as women over 60, are living proof that it doesn't fade, it transforms. Our beauty today is not the same as it was at 20, and it shouldn't be, because we are not the same women. We have lived, we have grown, we have risen again and again, and with every chapter, our beauty has become more complex, more meaningful, more real. Youth may bring smooth skin, but time gives us something far greater, depth. A kind of quiet, grounded radiance that comes from knowing who we are, from loving not just how we look, but who we've become. Every line on our face is a memory etched in time. Every grey hair, a crown of experience. Every change in our body, a reminder of the life we've lived, fully, fiercely, unapologetically. Beauty is not about holding on to who we were. It's about embracing who we are now, in all our fullness. And that means letting go of society's narrow standards, the ones that say only youth deserves to be seen, admired, or celebrated. We don't need to rewind the clock. We need to own our time, stand tall in it, and radiate from it. There is power in the way we walk now, grounded, steady, and sure. There is grace in the way we love, louder, freer, deeper. And there is beauty in every part of us that has weathered the years and come out shining. So let's stop measuring beauty by youth. Let's measure it by joy, by wisdom, by the strength it takes to grow older and love ourselves more with every passing year. Because the most beautiful women aren't the youngest. They're the ones who've embraced the journey. There's a kind of beauty that doesn't come from creams or makeup or perfect lighting. It comes from something deeper, something unshakable, confidence. And not the kind we once faked in our younger years, hoping the world would approve of us. No, this confidence is earned, built over time, rooted in truth, and it shows. At 60 and beyond, we no longer chase anyone's approval. We don't shrink ourselves to fit it into someone else's mold. We've spent years discovering who we are, and now we finally get to be her. There is power in this stage of life, power in no longer needing to explain ourselves, in saying what we mean and meaning what we say, in walking into a room not with insecurity, but with presence, a quiet kind of strength that doesn't ask for permission. We shine brightest when we stop hiding who we are. And we're done hiding. We're done apologizing for taking up space, for having opinions, for wearing what makes us feel beautiful, for laughing too loudly or saying no when we mean it. This is the age of authenticity, the age where our inner light, not our age, not our wrinkles, becomes our signature. And here's the beautiful irony. The more we accept ourselves, the more the world takes notice. Because confidence is magnetic. It draws people in, not because we're trying to be anything, but because we're not trying at all. There's nothing more captivating than a woman who is completely at ease with who she is. She doesn't need to prove herself. She simply shows up, fully present, fully real. And that energy, that glow can't be bottled. It can't be bought. It can only be lived. This kind of confidence isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It whispers. I know who I am, and that's enough. So wear what you love. Speak your truth. Take up space. Laugh without holding back. You've earned every bit of this freedom. You've walked through enough to know your worth. And the world doesn't need a younger version of you. It needs this you, confident, radiant, unapologetically whole. Look closely at your reflection, at the lines around your eyes, the silver in your hair, the softness of skin that has weathered countless seasons. What do you see? In a world that tries to tell us these are flaws, we know better. We know they are proof. Proof that we've lived, loved, endured, grown. Every wrinkle is a laugh remembered, a tear shed, a night spent comforting someone we love. Every grey hair is a chapter of wisdom, a lesson earned, a moment of clarity in the chaos of life. Every stretch mark is a reminder of change, of bodies that carried babies, bore burdens, or simply made room for joy. These marks are not signs of decay. They are symbols of becoming. This is not aging. This is becoming. Becoming stronger. Becoming softer in all the right ways. Becoming a woman who knows her worth because she's felt the weight of the world and carried it anyway. We don't need to erase the past to feel beautiful. We need to honor it. Because these so-called imperfections, they're not what make us less. They're what make us real. Real beauty is not airbrushed or filtered. It doesn't live in flawless skin or youthful features. It lives in the layers of our life, the visible proof that we've shown up again and again, no matter what. There is power in wearing our stories, in refusing to hide the evidence of a life fully lived, in looking in the mirror and saying, yes, that's me, and I'm proud of every part of her. Let's stop chasing smooth skin and start celebrating textured truth. Let's stop apologizing for growing older and start admiring the courage it takes to grow at all. Because beauty isn't found in turning back the clock. It's found in embracing what the clock has given us: time, memories, perspective, peace. So, the next time you see a new line, a strand of grey, a soft curve where there once was none, smile. That's not age creeping in. That's life, beautifully etched on your skin. That's the art of becoming. And you, my dear, are a masterpiece. There's a kind of beauty that can't be rushed. A beauty that doesn't come from youth or trends or anything we can put on our skin. It's the kind that grows quietly over time, in the spaces between heartache and healing, between mistakes and lessons, between letting go and starting over. That beauty is called wisdom. Wisdom is the light that beauty reflects. It's what gives our presence weight, our words meaning, and our eyes that unmistakable spark. The one that says, I've been through it, and I'm still standing. Time is not just something we measure in years. It's something we live through. And with it, we gather more than just memories. We gather insight, clarity, a deeper understanding of who we are and what truly matters. There's value in everything we've walked through, even the hard parts, especially the hard parts, because every struggle has softened us in just the right places, and every triumph has made us stronger, more rooted in our truth. We've learned what to carry and what to leave behind. We've learned how to listen, not just to others, but to ourselves. We've learned how to unlearn the stories that never belonged to us and write new ones in their place. This wisdom shows up in how we treat ourselves, how we speak with compassion instead of criticism, how we give ourselves permission to rest, to grow, to dream again. It shows up in how we love, with depth, with patience, with presence, because we've learned that love isn't loud or perfect. It's steady, it's kind, and it's worth waiting for. Wisdom reminds us that we don't have to chase what isn't meant for us, that peace is more precious than approval, that beauty isn't just about how we look, it's about how we see. So when you look at yourself today, look with wise eyes. See the woman who has lived, who has fallen and risen, who has evolved through every season life has given her. You are not just older, you are wiser, and that wisdom radiates, not from your skin, but from your soul. There's something magical about a photograph. It doesn't just freeze time, it honors it. And when we allow ourselves to step in front of the camera, not to pose perfectly, but simply to be, we create more than an image. We create a reflection of who we've become. Photography isn't just about appearance. It's about essence, the quiet confidence behind our eyes, the warmth in our smile, the calm in our posture that says, I've lived, I've grown, and I'm proud of it. For too long, many of us avoided the camera. We told ourselves we weren't ready. We wanted to lose a few pounds. We worried we didn't look good enough. But here's the truth. You don't need to change to be celebrated. You are already enough. A photo taken at 60, 70, or beyond isn't just a picture. It's a testament. A bold statement that says, "This is me, as I am." No filters, no masks, just a radiant, powerful woman captured in her full truth. Every photo is proof. I am here. I am radiant. I am enough. When we look back at these photos, we don't just see a face, we see our stories. We see the woman who raised a family, built a career, healed from heartbreak, rediscovered joy. We see laughter lines earned over shared dinners and late-night talks. We see eyes that have seen both loss and love, and still shine. Photography gives us the gift of perspective. It shows us what others see when they look at us. Not flaws, but light. Not age, but grace. Not imperfection, but depth. Let's reclaim the lens. Let's stop hiding from the camera and start stepping into it. Not to chase youth, but to capture presence. Take the photo. Celebrate this moment. Frame it not for vanity, but for remembrance of the strength you carry, the beauty you embody, the life you've lived. Because someday, someone will look at that photo, maybe a daughter, a granddaughter, a friend, and they won't see a woman who aged. They'll see a woman who lived fully, freely, fiercely. Self-care isn't selfish. It isn't indulgent. And it certainly isn't something we need to earn. Self-care is love in action. And at this stage of life, it's not a luxury. It's a lifeline. We've spent years taking care of others. We've held families together. We've supported, sacrificed, and shown up for the people we love. But now, it's time to show up for ourselves. Not out of guilt or obligation, but out of reverence. Because you deserve your own tenderness, your own care, your own time. Taking care of yourself is the most beautiful thing you can do. It's how you whisper to your body, "I'm listening." It's how you remind your soul, "You matter." And it's how you tell the world, "I honor the woman I've become." Self-care looks different for each of us. For some, it's a morning walk that clears the mind and opens the heart. For others, it's reading a book, drinking tea in silence, journaling your thoughts, or dancing barefoot in the kitchen. It's choosing food that nourishes, rest that restores, movement that feels good. Not punishing, but empowering. And it's not just physical. Caring for the mind and spirit is just as sacred. Setting boundaries. Letting go of toxic expectations. Saying no when you need to. Saying yes to what lights you up. Because when you pour into yourself, you don't just feel better. You become better. More grounded, more radiant, more alive. Self-care isn't about escaping life. It's about returning to yourself, your needs, your peace, your joy. This is the age where we stop waiting for permission. We give it to ourselves. We create sacred moments, small rituals that say, "I am worthy of this." A walk in nature, a quiet bath, a deep breath before the day begins. Not because we want to look beautiful, but because we want to feel whole. So take the time, carve the space, make yourself a priority. Not someday, not when things calm down, but now. Because when you care for yourself with the same love you've given everyone else, something powerful happens. You don't just survive, you shine. Perfection is a story we were sold. One that told us we had to look a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain size, wear the right clothes, smooth every wrinkle, hide every scar, and pretend we had it all together. But here's what we've learned over time. That story was never ours. We were never meant to be flawless. We were meant to be whole. And wholeness, it includes the laugh lines and the stretch marks. It includes the soft belly and the silver hair. It includes the parts we once tried to hide. The tears we cried in silence, the fears we carried, the moments we broke down behind closed doors. You're not broken. You are complete. The truth is, perfection is an illusion, a moving target that only steals our joy. And once we let go of chasing it, we begin to breathe again. We begin to live. Because the real beauty, the kind that lasts, the kind that moves people, lives in our imperfections. It lives in the courage to show up exactly as we are, without apology. It lives in the way we love ourselves on the hard days, not just the good ones. At 60, 70, and beyond, we know now. We don't need to rewind the clock. We don't need to compete with a younger version of ourselves. That woman helped build the one we are today. And for that, we thank her. But we don't long to be her again, because this version, she is wiser, stronger, softer in the right places, fiercer in others. She knows her worth doesn't come from the mirror. It comes from within. So we release the pressure to look perfect, to act perfect, to be perfect. And instead we embrace being real, fully human, flawed, beautiful, whole. When we let go of perfection, we create space for peace. When we stop hiding, we start shining. And when we embrace our wholeness, every scar, every stretch, every sacred story etched into our being, we finally come home to ourselves. This is not a decline. This is a return to truth, to freedom, to you. There comes a point in life, somewhere between letting go and leaning in, when we realize we don't need anyone's permission to live fully. We've spent years quieting ourselves to make others comfortable. We've second-guessed our choices, held back our laughter, waited for the right time to wear the dress, speak the truth, or chase the dream. But not anymore. Because now we know this chapter is ours, and it's not the end. It's the beginning of living unapologetically, of saying what we mean, of laughing loud, from the belly, with joy that's been waiting too long to be heard, of dressing in what makes us feel radiant, not what others expect, of loving with our whole hearts, not fearing if it's too much. This stage of life, it's not a slowing down, it's a rising up. We are not winding down, we are rising up. Because age is freedom. Freedom to speak our minds, to choose ourselves, to let go of what never served us and lean into what makes us feel alive. We've outgrown the need to fit in. We've traded approval for authenticity. And we're no longer dimming our light to keep others comfortable. Now we shine, boldly, fully, without apology. We explore new hobbies, travel solo, dance in the kitchen, say yes to what excites us and no to what drains us. We don't live for someday, we live for now. This chapter is about honoring the journey, not just where we've been, but where we're going. It's about realizing that the best moments might still be ahead, that we can still fall in love, start something new, rediscover forgotten passions, or finally chase the dream we shelved years ago. We don't need to ask, "Can I?" anymore. We get to say, "I will." So go ahead, be bold, be joyful, be entirely, wonderfully you. This life is not behind you. It's with you in every breath, every step, every choice you make from this moment forward. You've earned this freedom. Now live it, loudly, freely, unapologetically. Beauty doesn't fade. It deepens, it softens, it strengthens. It begins to glow from a place so real, so earned, that no mirror could ever fully reflect it. And if you've ever doubted it, let this be your reminder. You're not past your prime. You are in it. You are a woman who has lived, learned, fallen, risen, laughed, healed, and become. And that is not something to hide. That is something to celebrate. So, love yourself, not just on the days you feel radiant, but on the days you don't. Celebrate yourself, not because you've reached perfection, but because you've grown through everything that tried to hold you back, and inspire others, simply by being who you are, unapologetically. Because when one woman rises, it gives others permission to rise too. When one woman stops apologizing for her age, her curves, her voice, her dreams, it opens a door for daughters, for granddaughters, for friends and sisters who are still learning to see themselves as enough. Beauty only grows with time. It becomes richer with each lesson, more luminous with each act of courage, more grounded with every year we choose to show up as our full selves. You don't need to shrink. You don't need to fade into the background. You've earned your place. And now, it's time to stand in it. Let's build a sisterhood rooted in strength, shaped by stories and lifted by love. A community of women who no longer compete, but celebrate one another. Who no longer chase youth, but embody wisdom. Who no longer wait to be seen, but choose to be visible, boldly and beautifully. So if these words spoke to you, carry them with you. Let them echo in the quiet moments. Let them rise in your reflection. Let them guide you when you forget how far you've come. And if you're ready to continue this journey of confidence, of celebration, of deep, radiant beauty, you are not alone. You are part of something powerful, a movement of women over 60, rewriting the story of what it means to grow older. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. This is just the beginning.